Hello everyone. Welcome to Matinig. Our topic for today is graphical method for solving linear programming problems. So, the graphical method is a way of solving a linear programming problem by representing the constraints on a coordinate plane and finding the feasible region. The best solution is found by testing the corner points or vertices of that region. So this graphical method, we will determine the best solution by graphing. Before we graph, let's review what is linear programming. Linear programming is a mathematical method used to find the maximum or minimum value of a quantity while satisfying certain restrictions called constraints. A linear programming problem usually has four parts. The first one is the decision variables. For example, these are the quantities we want to determine. Example, let X represents the number of tables produced and Y represents the number of chairs produced. Then we have the objective function. This tells us what we want to maximize or minimize. For example, we want to maximize the profit of um, number of table by finding the number of tables and the number of chairs. Then we have constraints. These are the limitations of the problem, or these are the restrictions. Then we have the non-negativity restrictions, since we cannot produce a negative number of products. So meaning, when graphing, our we will use the quadrant 1 in Cartesian coordinate plane. The basic idea of the graphical method. The graphical method follows these steps. Step 1, define the variables, meaning we need to identify what x and y represent. Step 2, write the objective function. We need to determine what needs to be maximized or minimized. Step 3, write the constraints. It means translate the conditions of the problem into inequalities. Step 4, graph each constraint. Usually, we first replace the inequality with an equation. Okay, then we have step 5, determine the feasible region. So, the feasible region is the area that satisfy all constraints simultaneously. Next step is find the corner points. We need to identify the vertices of the feasible region. Step 7, we will evaluate the objective function using the corner points. And step 8, choose the optimal value if we are looking for the maximum. But if we're looking for the minimum, we will look for the lower or lesser value. Let's have an example. A company produces tables and chairs. Each table requires 2 hours of labor. Each chair requires 1 hour of labor. The company has at most 100 labor hours. Each table requires 1 unit of wood. Each chair requires 2 units of wood. The company has 80 units of wood. Profit is 40 pesos per table and 30 pesos per chair. How many tables and chairs should the company produce to maximize profit? So we are asked to find how many tables and chairs should the company produce in order to maximize the profit. So we will follow the steps by step. We will follow the steps in solving this linear programming problem. Step 1, let's define the variables. So again, we will identify the variables here, which is the tables and chairs. So we will represent tables and chairs. Let X represents the number of tables produced and let Y represents the number of chairs. Step 2, we need to write the objective function. So since we want to maximize the profit, that means we have the formula maximize P equals 40 times X plus 30 times Y. So 40 comes is from the profit per table. Remember, X represents the number of tables. So since you have 40 profit, so therefore you have 40X. Then 30Y, 30 represents the profit per chair. So that's why you have 30 times Y. Y represents the number of chairs. Then we have the step 3, right? The constraints. So here, in order to produce the tables and chairs, we have two variables or two constraints. The first one is the labor constraint, and the other one is the wood constraint. So the labor constraint, it says here, each table requires 2 hours of labor, while each chair requires 1 hour of labor. So the company has at most 100 labor hours. It means uh 2 hours times X or 2 per tables and 1 hour per chair is equal or less than 100. So this is the inequality in labor constraint. Now we will write the inequality for food constraint. It says here, each table requires 1 unit of wood. That means 1 per wood or 1 per table, I mean. So 1x or x. Then each chair requires 2 units of wood. That means 2 times y. The company has 80 units of woods. So that means equal 80. Okay. So x plus 2y is less than or equal 80. So that is our constraint. Then we have the non-negativity. Since we say earlier, we cannot produce negative products. So therefore, x must be equal or greater than 0 and y must be equal or greater than 0. Then we have step 4, graph each constraint. So this is our constraint and this is our constraint for wood. Okay, so in graphing the constraint, we need to draw the Cartesian plane and first, uh, we need to get the intercepts. Let's first graph this first inequality, 2x plus y is less than or equal to 100. So if we represent or if we replace x by 0, no, to get the intercept, it will become 2 times 0 or 0. Okay, so we have left with y is equal 100. So here we will use the equation or equal sign rather than inequality symbol temporarily. Okay, so we have y is equal to 100. So that's why you have 100 here. The coordinate is 0 and 100. Then if we replace y by 0, we have 2x is equal to 100. So we divide both sides by 2. So we have x is equal to 50. So we will plot the points. We have 50 here. So if we're going to graph, it will look like this. Okay. So the graph passes to 0 and 100 and 50 and 0. Okay, so now, because it is an inequality symbol, so it says here, less than 100. So the values or the sum of the values of x and y must be less than or equal 100. So if you're going to look at this, where is the in y coordinate, where is less than 100? So the less than 100 here is below 100, while less than 50 is below 50. So that means if we're going to shade this graph, it will look like this. Okay, so we will grab the lower part of the graph. Next, we need to plot this x plus 2y is equal to 80. Again, we need to write first it in equation. We have x plus 2y is equal to 80. No? So if our x is 0, so that means you have 2y is equal to 80. Divide both sides by 2 to get the y. So we have y is equal to 40. Next, if our y is 0, so you have 2 times 0 is 0. So you only left with x equals 80. Okay, then we connect the point like that. And since if you can see here, it says here less than 80. So that means we need to shade the lower part because it says less than. Okay, if it's greater than, we need to shade the upper part. Since it's lesser than, so we need to shade the lower part. Okay, so like that. So if you can see, we have an intersection here, no? This area here. So this area is called the feasible region. Okay, so the intersection of the two graph. Okay, so as you can see, we have four corner points here. Okay, so we need to find the corner points. First, we have points here, which is represents the um okay. So this pointer represents the 0 and 40, while this pointer at x-axis is represented by coordinate 50 and 0. Then here, uh, to get this, we need to find the intersection of these two equations. So we need to solve this. Okay, the values of x and y of these two equations. Okay, so first we need to multiply this one constraint by 2 to make them have the same two value of x or coefficient of x. So we have 2x is 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 2y is 4y, 2 times 80 is 160. Okay, so we need to write it first. We need to write it temporarily into equation. Then we will rewrite 2x plus y equals 100. Okay, here. Then we subtract minus. Okay, so 2x minus 2x is 0 or they will be cancelled out. Then 4y minus y is 3y. And 160 minus 100 is 60. So you have 3y equals 60. Since we're looking for the value of y, so we divide both sides by 3. So it will become y equals 20. So this is the value of our y on this point, at this point. Okay, so next we will select one equation here to substitute this value of y. So let's say if our y here is 20, so we apply the addition property, it will become 100 minus 20 or 80. So we have 2x equals 80. Then, since we're looking for the value of x, we will divide both sides by 2. So we have uh, 80 divided by 2 is 40. So that's why our x here is 40. So now you have the coordinate 40 and 20. Okay, so the other corner point here is the 0 and 0, but we do not need to include that. Okay, after solving or after finding the corner points, we need to evaluate the objective function. So using these corner points, we will substitute it to the objective function. The maximize p equals 40x plus 3y. So let's create a table. So 0, 40, 420, and 50, 0. So these three corner points, we will uh, find the profit if we create this number of tables and chairs. Okay. So first, if our table is 0, if we create table 0 and our chair is 40, so you have 40 times 0 plus 30 times 40 is equal to 1,200. That means if you have this, if you produce this product, so your profit is 1,200. Next, we have 40 and 20. 40 tables and 20 chairs. Okay, so substituting it in the formula, we have 40 times 40 plus 30 times 20 equals 2,200. So that means if you produce 40 tables and 20 chairs, you will have a profit of 2,200 pesos. Then next, if we have 50 tables and 0 chairs, so the product is 2,000 or the profit is 2,000. Okay, so now we need to select or choose the optimal value. So in this result or in this profit, the highest value or the highest profit here is 2,200. So that means the largest profit is 2,200 pesos at coordinate 40 and 20. Or if you produce 40 tables and 20 chairs, so you will receive 2,200 pesos as profit. So our final answer is the company should produce 40 tables and 20 chairs to obtain a maximum profit of 2,200. And that's it. Thank you for watching.